The Xuan Zang Memorial at Nalanda has been erected in the living memory of the Tripitaka master, Venerable Xuan Zang. Venerable Xuan Zang is famous as a Chinese monk scholar, thinker, prolific translator, traveler, and a historian. An alumnus of the ancient Nalanda University in the 7th century AD, he made a unique contribution to the literature of the teachings of the Buddha. As a mark of respect to this great being, for his valuable contribution, this magnificent memorial has been erected at the very soil of Nalanda with the joint efforts of India and China.
As you all know, Venerable Xuan Zang plays a very important role for the contribution in Buddhism, for propagating the teaching of Buddha. He is also known as a person who has revealed a lot of information about India and especially Nalanda. This memorial hall is a tribute to him and also is a symbol of Indo-Chinese friendship.
The story behind the making of the memorial is as significant as the memorial itself.
The project started way back in 57 when, with the initiation of the founder director of Navanalanda Mahavihara, the project was taken up, and our first Prime Minister Pandit Nehru initiated. As a result, with the help of the Chinese Premier Chao Enlai, this project started. Initially, an endowment and the relic, the body relic, Sarira, was given to us along with lots of Chinese Buddhist texts.
The physical structure of Xuan Zang Memorial Hall, which is now the central point of the memorial complex, was started in 1960 and completed in 1984. But the essential components of the creative works and other additions to give it the shape of a memorial could not be carried out at that time. In the year 2001, the memorial hall was handed over to the Nav Nalanda Mahavihar. A detailed plan and design for the entire creative work was very carefully made with the help of experts.
There was a resource committee which was framed by the Government of India, and the resource committee decided about the methodology to be worked out to complete this project. The entire plan was made that what are we going to show? Since the memorial is dedicated to Venerable Xuan Zang, so his life and the achievement, his contribution in propagation of the teaching of Buddha, which is so valuable and needed in today's time, should be taken up. So similarly, the entire work was planned by this resource committee and we started working accordingly.
The plan for the restoration, renovation, and creative development to give the final shape to the grand memorial was executed in phases.
This memorial hall is a fusion of Indian and Chinese artwork. If you go inside, you find that the upper walls have been, the murals and the paintings have been done, along with the ceiling have been done by the Indian artists. The ceiling gives and symbolizes the artwork as it is narrated in the Ajanta caves. The work which is on the lower side of the wall, bronze and copper work, has been done by the Chinese side, the Chinese artists, and the gate, and on the side we have this bell pavilion and commemorative pillar pavilion. This was all done by the Chinese side.
The memorial complex is spread over an area of 4.85 acres. It has 3 Chinese-style entrance gates, 2 commemorative pillars, a peace bell pavilion, a bronze statue of Xuan Zang, and a magnificent memorial hall as the central point. The hall stands on a sufficiently raised platform. It has been constructed in the tradition of Chinese architectural design, using Japanese tiles on its roof, teak wood, and chunar stone. The back wall of the hall has a map of the Silk Road on which Xuan Zang took his arduous journey to come to India in the 7th century AD.
Xuan Zang Memorial Hall, as you can see, is in the middle and is the focal point. Around this, we are trying to develop a cultural village, Navanalanda Mahavihar Sanskritik Grama. We have a plan to make an art village, a performing art village, a meditation center, a guest house, and several other things to project the time of Buddha and afterwards how Buddhism developed. So all these things would be the part of this cultural village complex.
The interiors of the hall have been carefully planned with a special focus on Xuan Zang's life, his travels, the time he spent at Nalanda, and his valuable works. An autobiographical relief in wood and copper finish in 2 parts on the pattern of the similar work displayed at the Wild Goose Pagoda in China at Xian is one of the major attractions inside the memorial hall. The hall has a white marble high relief in its center with a molded bronze statue of seated Xuan Zang in the front. The copies of the translated works of Xuan Zang are also preserved in the hall.
Venerable Xuan Zang is an apostle, or he deifies the Indo-Chinese friendship way back in the 7th century. We tried to work out in the similar way, and 2006 was the Indo-Chinese friendship year, so the whole thing was taking momentum. As a result, the work was completed and was inaugurated.
The grand inaugural ceremony of great cultural and historical significance to India and China was conducted on February the 12th, 2007 amidst much fanfare. A host of dignitaries and religious personalities, media personnel, and scholars from India and China, amongst others, attended this important function. The body relic of Venerable Xuan Zang, gifted by China in 1957, was also displayed during the inaugural function. It was one of the rare occasions when such a large gathering of dignitaries and religious personalities came together on a common platform to become a part of this historic occasion. That too, during the 2550th Mahaparinirvan year of the Buddha. The day marked the beginning of a new chapter of India-China friendship, cooperation and cultural exchange, of which Venerable Xuan Zang was an important catalyst. The memorial, which stands here now in all its majesty, will always remind the world about the great story and contribution of Venerable Xuan Zang, who is truly an exemplary figure in world history.